So I did an article previously about how to pick the perfect colour scheme for your site, and we looked at branding and how colour schemes such as these can affect the colours of your site and the impression that it gives to other people. So this was the colour scheme that I picked for my site. You can see this here. It's got a green, a blue, a pink, a yellow, and some lighter colours just here. And when you use design seeds, you get your featured picture just here, your inspiration picture, and down the side here are the like the little swatches, and you'll see the swatches over here again. So I went on to create the buttons for the sidebar. At the moment there isn't any content behind those buttons apart from the top one, but it just helped me to use these colours and audition them on my site and see if I'm going to like it. So I thought it would be useful to show, once you've chosen the colour scheme that you want to use, how you can then take the actual colours from the colour scheme and use them on your site. So let's take a look. So looking here now at the original article on design seeds, we are at designseeds.com. Then over here are my little swatches. Hovering over here doesn't do anything, but if you hover over these ones, oh, there we go. Hover over it, you can just see the little box that pops up, and that's got a number called a hex code or a hex number, and this is the code that identifies to the computer what the colour is going to look like on your screen. So we need to make a note of these codes, and you can either just hover over each one and write it down on a notepad so that you can save them for future reference, or if we right click and open, Design Seeds is going to bring us up a new page. And each colour has its own page. So this is the light blue. Here's the light blue just here. I bring this up in its own page. And then if we look up here, it tells us for this colour that the hex is this. So you can make a note of it here, or you can leave these open to copy and paste. So let's say I'm going to use this one. So I'm going to open the dark blue and that pinky salmon type colour. And I'm opening them now into new pages so that I've got the codes open here and here. And now if we go over to PicMonkey, I'm going to create one of these sidebar buttons. So this is PicMonkey at PicMonkey.com, and if you've not used it before, I highly recommend it. It's nice and easy to use, and it does have a free version. It also has a premium version, which I believe they called Royale. I've got the premium version. It's $33 for the year, and I use this all the time to create my images for my website. So you either sign up and get the free version or sign up and get the Royale version, and I should have a coupon for you to get some money off or to get a trial for that. So I'll give you the link underneath where you can sign up for that. So let's have a look. We want to design something from scratch. You can either create a collage here, which is really great for making a Pinterest image, for example, or you can edit your pictures, and that's good to add text to them or to change the size or to touch up the colors and crop, for example. Under the Royale version, you also get the option for touch up, which is like a beautification. I admit I've used this in the past to make myself look more younger, attractive, and more slimmer in my blog photos. So don't tell everyone about that. But what we're going to use now is the design feature. And when you hover over design, you get these options down at the bottom here. And I'm going to pick custom, because I want to create mine entirely from scratch. So I want my blog button to be 330 wide, say by 125 tall, and these are pixels. So now hit make it, and here we are. This brings it up at life size. So this, you can see down the bottom here, is 100% scale. And if you want to, you can zoom in so that you can work with it more, filling the whole screen if you want to. So let's start with our design. I'm going to start with this dark blue color here. So if I copy that, that's the hex code I need for this color. So I'm going over here, and the canvas color, you can see here, this, as I move the cursor about in this box, it changes the color. And I could make a guesstimate that it's kind of, oh, it's a bit more blue, maybe it's like that, maybe it's a bit darker, so I can change it like that. Or I can be absolutely accurate to the color that I've picked from my palette here to make sure that they're all going to match. And if I click over to this box in here, I can take that out. I can paste in my own hex code and apply. And now this blue background color here is exactly the color here and the one that we picked out from our palette. So that's our background color. Now I'm going to create a white box. So I'm going to use this one for an overlay, and I'm just going to create a geometric box on top. And I want one with square corners. That's that one here. And I can drag it over here and make it whatever size I want. Oops. I wanted that size. There we go. And I want it kind of centered, but with a dark border around the outside. A little like that, for example. Okay, that looks good. And this one I want to be white. So another way to pick the color is to select what you want here and pick the color from the little palette. So again, as I hover over the colors, you can see it. And I want white. So now I've got the dark border and the white border, and now I'm going to create the center of my button with this pink color. So again, I go over to the page and copy. And as I come over here, I'm going to create another geometric overlay, and my color, again, exactly the same. I click on where I want the color to be, and here I just paste in my color, and there we go. It's that nice pinky salmon that I want. So now if I drag this little rectangle about where I want it, enter something like that. I can also use the keys on my keyboard if I want to just move it. No, I'm just hitting the keys now. I can move it left and right with the arrow keys on the keyboard. Okay, so that's about centered. Now, if I wanted to add some text, that's very simple. Over here, we've got the text tool. You can click on that one, and you can pick all of these texts. If you look down the side, some of them have got the little crown on, and these are premium ones. So these are part of the paid Royale feature, but there are plenty of free ones if you want to use those too. So let's pick this one. Maybe that's nice and bold. And we just click add text, and we can type in your sample text here. And it's going to default to black, but when we want to change that to white. So if I make this box, the text box like that, I can stretch it so that it fits, and then I can center the text, for example, and then again I can change the color. So if I wanted to use a color from my design palette, for example, I could do that, but I'm going to just use white. So again, I can just drag it up the top, and that's white at the top, black down at the bottom, and every possible color in between. Now it's looking a little bit pixelated. If I zoom back to the 100%, there we go, it looks nice and clear. So that's just a simple way of how you can select your palette, and then you can right click and you can either hover over to get these hex codes to use, or you can right click and open the individual ones in a page and get the hex code just here. And that's how you can then use them in PicMonkey to create little banners or things in the text and the color scheme that you've selected for your site. However, say we wanted to then use these colors within the site itself, and usually in your theme there's a place that you can do that. So how you set the color settings for your actual blog or website is going to be different according to what theme you use. Generally, you'll go over to your WordPress dashboard, click Appearance, and then there'll be something under Appearance generally for your theme settings. So my theme is called Mantra. When I click my Mantra settings, I get up these options, and there's one here for color settings. And each of the colors on the website has a little hex code, as you can see next to it. So you can see here's my light blue, there's my dark blue, there's my pink. I'm not using many of the others there at the time being, but I could go ahead and, for example, use this green. So if I scroll through what I've got open just here, here's this green color. So it looks a little bit of bluey green, and all I need to do is take that color just here, take the code, and if I move it over to here, so I wanted to perhaps change the footer background, and I just paste that new code just here, and when I save those changes, if I then go and load the page on my site, it will have changed the footer from the pink to the green. So let's go ahead and take a look. I go over and visit my site. And when we scroll down to the bottom, there we go, my footer is now green. Or I could choose one of these other colours, so maybe I like the yellow. Back over to my theme settings, and that footer. Code from yellow and save the changes. And then if we go back to the site, and at the moment it's green, I can refresh that and come up here. And there we go, it's now got this yellow colour. So it's pretty easy to either use these hex design codes in PicMonkey or one of your other softwares if you want to for making graphics for your website, but you can also go into your color settings and you can change up all the different elements of your website usually using these same codes. So once you've got your color scheme all sorted out, then you take your codes and you use them in your graphics or in your business card. You can use them in your header image up here, for example. As you can see, I haven't done yet, but I've started using some of the others. I've got light blue here, dark blue here, and I've carried through a blue and orange theme here on the sidebar. I've got the light blue, these elements, and then I've got these colors here with the little blogger buttons on the side, and you can use it to create your brand or your look once you've decided on what color scheme that you want to use. So there we are. I hope it's been useful to show you how to take the Design Seeds color scheme, use the hex codes here in terms of either changing the design on your site or creating blog graphics using those custom designed feel color scheme and using the hex codes. Thank you very much for following along.